Okay, I wanted to show you this team that I think is probably the best team, but also the cheapest team. So we're going to make it not including anything above tier 3. And the only stage 3 tier 3, being the Winks, is going to be in the free rotation. So you also won't need anything above stage 2, and most of them is stage 1. So I'll go through the cost of this team after, but it's going to be cheap, and I'm pretty sure Whitey's playing pretty much the exact same thing as me. I run through the range of weapons. Let's go the Revo, and then we'll go the Gorilla, and we did want this on the Ranger. Yeah, so the Ranger weapon we're going to be using is, you can just go this tier 1 for Mystic. It's a tier 1 stage 2, so very cheap to either buy or make. But the Boomerang is a tier 3, which is a little bit more expensive to either buy or make, but it's going to be better. Just because the free rotation suit this week is, or at the moment, is this pure damage, so attack damage, attack speed, and crit, which scales really well with the Slayer. So either option is good. I'm going to use Slayer just because it's the only chance I have against Whitey. Round 2, going to chuck the Wings down. That's going to give us Dust. So you'll notice a theme here. We can get our composites with just 2 stage 2 Illuvials. So in this case, Revo and Quinks gives us Dust. Chuck that there. Put him down next to these. So that's going to give us 4 rogues, the 3 air. This dagger should have been on round 1. This is just a tier 0 dagger. You'll see Whitey playing a similar thing. He's actually got fire dagger, and that might actually be better because fire goes hyper into air, and there's a lot of air on both teams. So yeah, I haven't got this in the team. I'll probably add it in. Actually, I can't add it in because I've got the stage 2, so it's a bit too expensive. Like, I couldn't afford it this round, so yeah, that's why I didn't have the fire dagger. But the fire dagger, like Whitey's doing, is probably a bit better here. Saying that I ended up winning, but you never know whether it's a bit of RNG or my items are a bit better. Oh, Predator. This could actually be pretty crazy. Just gonna go one Predator. I don't know if this is the right move, but I suspect this could be very OP on the Gazetep. So he went the healing. Okay, well we'll try this now. My Gazetep might just die before he uses it, but and I ended up getting Predator. So every time he gets hit, he's going to get a stack that gives him more energy regen and a mega power. Mostly for the energy regen. So if I can get another tanky item on him, that'd be huge. Speaking of him, we're going to upgrade him to the stage 3 Gazetep. Again, this is in the free rotation. I own this one, but it is in the free rotation at the moment. And then we're going to go Kukulus, and that's going to give us Enchanter, which is super strong at this stage. Then I'm going to put the Vermilia down. That'll give us 5 air. And the 3 empath, 4 rogue, so very good synergies at the moment. Now, who am I going to put Predator on? I could actually, I'll just hold off on this for now. I could put it on the Kukulus to keep him safe, because it's very hard to keep him safe with all those rogues jumping to the back line. Tell you what, I will do that. Can always change it later. I can't really, but let's see how that goes. Because the Kukulus is going to be casting Enchanter. So we want, obviously, not to die that quick. What did he get here? So he's got untargetable and then gets energy regen, so that's really good in the Gazetep. Potentially even better than what I have. Okay, let's get a... I don't know if this can be close. Might just have it. Oh, wow, I get the same thing. It's going to be huge. I'll go over the marketplace and see how expensive this team is, but I'd recommend building it in Overworld anyway, spending fuel, just because you get other milestones by doing this anyway, for the airdrop, so you may as well go in and actually capture this team in Overworld, if you haven't already. But if you are going to do that, make sure to use my referral code, Web3. You add that into your account settings, and you do have to refresh it every month, but that'll help me out a lot if you appreciated this content or get anything out of it. Alright, round 4, I want Revenant now. So again, going to stage 2 with these two Illuvials is going to give us Revenant. It's a pretty common theme here where the Illuvials we're using are Illuvial combinations that get their composite in stage 2. So we don't have to level them all the way to stage 3 because that takes a lot of Ascend tokens, other than the Gazetep obviously. Because Enchanter is just very good. I'm gonna mess that up while I was explaining things. Didn't realize I had so much points left over. So at this stage I should have the Ranger weapon, the Slayer, out. But this should be fine. A little bit of a problem. My Gazetep is quite squishy. I might have to actually move him at the back of the board like he's done. This one's going to be really good. I'll get the Choco down. Ranger. And just need to get the suit on the Ranger. And then I'm actually going to go shock this round. No, I won't end up having shock, will I? Because my Ranger... This is the problem. My Ranger weapon's only stage 2. You need the stage 3 one to be able to have shock with the Tairuku. I'll upgrade that for Slayer. And I guess we'll just have to go one of the Predators. And chuck this down. Hopefully this will stop the Gazetep casting as quickly. At the back there. Okay, so he's done the same thing. He just has the stage 3, so a little bit more rough. And this gives him shock as well. So his range is doing more damage, plus he's got shock, which is really good at actually sniping out certain things. But we'll see how this goes. It's going to be close. You see the Ranger doing most of the damage for both teams. Not sure what's better on attack still. Resistances. I think we'll go Dust. See if he does this one off fast. Okay, he did Life Storm. I'm actually going to add that onto the Gorilla. Since I want him living a bit longer if he can. That gives us Predator. There's no point upgrading this for shock, but again that would be a better option if you happen to have the stage 3 weapon. I should say, yeah, so if you're playing the cheaper version with the tier 1 weapon, you would just not play the where is it? The Air Volante. You would have the Apon down and that would give you a Mystic. So you would lose 5 air, makes it a bit awkward. You'd still have the 4 rogue and you'd have 4 empath. But you would gain Mystic, and Mystic gives everyone a shield every, I think, 8 seconds, and that shield gives them bonus attack speed. And the Apon can get some clutch stuns off as well, help protect the Gazetep. So there's a chance he'll move the Gazetep this side, but there's also a chance he thinks that I'll move that side, so we'll just leave it at this and spend too much time explaining anyway. Pray that we get some good luck this round. Oh, he's got a round fire. Okay. He's up to 5 air, 5 fire, which does counter my air. If I kill his round fire here, maybe, yeah, got him. So counter it in terms of hyper. Gazetep, no, he died. Oh, he's got Inferno. Might be okay here. My Ranger. Well, we haven't won yet, but this is a good example of how good this team is if we're beating, or at least winning rounds against someone that has higher stage weapon and obviously way higher tier Illuvials. Reduce enemy shields. That's actually pretty big. 30% less shields for them. I don't even have the Exalted Volante. Let's swap sides here. Just going to do this as well if he keeps his Ranger here. it's probably going to be good for me. We'll see. May have played myself a little bit here. But yeah, not much else we can do here. But this is a good example, and we got to see what Whitey's playing. Whitey's one of the top players. He's obviously made it to gold 3 with this, which is probably top 10. But this team's done me really well. I only lost the 1 game to Whitey and then 1 game to the Boomerang when I didn't have it. I was using the Mystic. But every other game I've won is Rangers. Rangers this side. Let's see if it makes a difference. Gazetep should live maybe a little bit longer. The untargetable manages to save him. Here's Gazetep. Kill him. No, he got 1 more cast off. Yeah, I think if I had killed his Gazetep there. Mine's still alive. No. We do here. I think this might be, yeah, really good. Just stack around to give myself resistances. See if it makes a difference. We'll just stick to the same side. But again, not a bad example of the teams, and really good by Whitey playing this team. So I guess this is obviously a really good staple team, and it's good practice playing something like this for Gauntlet, because it's a similar playstyle in Gauntlet where you get the Predators, Dust and Revenant, all composites that you get with 2 stage 2 Illuvials. But then we're able to see a bit more, I guess, pay to win or a stronger team with Illuvials that's hard to get, that Whitey has, that you can transition into from the team that I'm playing into late game. See the other, so he's got the Vermilion as well, which I don't have, so I can't upgrade that. A couple other things that I couldn't upgrade. The Kukulus I couldn't upgrade to either. But I think I might have this, unless his round fire one-shots me. No. Oh, there you go. So, pretty good example there. I think Whitey does win that most of the time. That's really unfortunate for him. I think I may have just had better augments on the Gazetep, and maybe even my Gyro. Yeah, unfortunate for him. Losing quite a lot there, and to a team where I couldn't even upgrade a lot of my stuff. I guess that highlights how good this team is and how cheap you can get it for. It does really, really well against everything. The only piece of expensive equipment there is the Slayer weapon. But again, even without Slayer, I would have lost that for sure on the Ranger, but with Mystic it's still not that much worse, so you'll still have a lot of success with that. We'll just have a quick look at how expensive this team might be to either buy, but keep in mind that a lot of these are probably worth going to Overworld and doing stage 1 and 2 runs to capture a lot of the stage 1 Illuvials, and then you might find some of these stage 2 Illuvials anyway. That way you're also doing the milestones, so the runs basically more than pay for themselves. But some of the low hanging fruit ones that you could get is the tier 1 stage 1s, which you're going to need anyway, because remember, you're going to need the stage 1 Illuvials as well as the stage 2 to be able to play them in arena. But you can see I've caught all the stage 2 tier 1s as well, so you could do your runs farming resources to craft the weapons, which I'll also show the price for, as well as capturing the tier 1s, seeing what tier 2s you catch, the stage 1s, and seeing what stage 2s you catch, and you might end up filling the team out just by catching them, and then at the end, at some point, you can decide, okay, I'll just go to the market and buy the ones that I couldn't find in Overworld. Even leveling them and fusing them to stage 2 does contribute to the experience gained milestones, which are quite good. But yeah, that's what I would suggest. Let's have a look at some of the other prices for this team. So yeah, we've got the Kukulus. It's only 13 cents. This is the lowest one. The Tyree, you'll notice all these tier 1 stage 2s are all below 20 cents. The Apon as well. Even their Predator units, you can get below 20 cents. Not sure why it's not showing the price. I think it may have just sold, but this was under 20 cents as well, the Revo. Surprisingly, the Gorilla was the most expensive. I guess that's because Crimson Waste was the latest to be released, as well as Predators being quite good. Tier 3s are around the dollar mark. So the Vermilion for their stage 2, their Quinks, well there you go, nearly $2 for the Quinks is probably the most popular one. I have found a few of these in the wild You'll find them in stage 2. I think you can find them in stage 1, but quite rare in stage 1. It's even quite rare in stage 2. But you could catch 3 Quinxes and decide to level this one up instead. It's only 4,000 experience. And some of the stage 3 tier 1 are close to $2. But again, you could see I just won that game without using all of the stage 3s. I had a couple of the Predators. And the Gyro is probably the most expensive stage 3, but still only $3, so quite cheap. And remember, you have these. Oh, there you go. The Gorilla is actually more expensive. Remember, you have these for life, so they're all NFTs that, one, when you catch them in Overworld, they contribute to your airdrop points, which you're getting paid for anyway through the airdrop. And two, you'll eventually be able to earn rewards on the arena leaderboard, whether that's Gauntlet, Sand Mode, or Leviathan. All of these NFTs are going to help you with those. So you have these forever, and they're going to help you earn later anyway. And then if you decide to you don't want to play anymore, you can always sell these and get a portion of your money back. Now this is the cheaper stuff, the Mystic one that I mentioned, so not the Slayer one. The stage 2 is around $3. Again, you might want to craft these anyway. Like maybe you want to finish the crafting milestones or some of the easier ones, and the tier 1 crafting milestone is one of the cheapest. So you almost may as well spend this money on Overworld, if I'm being honest, because it's kind of, you'll get a lot of fuel for this anyway, because fuel is quite cheap at the moment. And then finally, this is the boomerang, so the Slayer weapon. This is around the $10 mark, so a lot more expensive. I crafted this one myself. It's probably cheaper to craft, again, especially since you can get those milestones at the same time and you can hunt for illuvials while you're farming for these resources. But overall, the team's probably around the $10 to $20 mark, maybe upwards to $30 if you're going the Slayer build. So pretty cheap overall, and again, you get the airdrop points anyway. You get these NFTs for life and you can resell them if you decide to ditch the game later. Quite a bargain, and you could see the team beat Whitey, who was using a way more expensive team. 9 out of 10 times Whitey's probably going to beat me, but you could see it still has potential and is far cheaper. I'll link this team down below so you could import it to create the team a bit easy. You just have to edit it, taking out the ones that you don't own, because the team will be invalid if you don't own the NFTs or if they're not in the free rotation. And remember to use my referral code if you are going to buy any fuel. You just add that in your settings, or you could just add it here in referral code. And you do have to refresh that every 30 days. But yeah, I appreciate that a lot, and we'll see you next time.